Generative AI has opened the door to allowing anyone to create incredible images just using a computer and a few text prompts. Now, this is a crash course episode, which is a part of a longer video on how to use Stable Diffusion. We're going to teach you everything you need to know to get started. Unlike other major generative AI platforms like Adobe's Firefly or OpenAI's DALL-E or even Midjourney, Stable Diffusion is completely open source, which in short is free. So I'd want Padme to wear her iconic white battle attire. See, that image is coming in, it's looking great. In this particular section, I'm changing how the body structure looks. Again, let's increase that to 4 images. Okay, we're gonna pause it right there. Remember, there are no limitations in this software, which means the responsibility is on you. Stable Diffusion lets you run on your own GPU instead of on the cloud, which allows you to tweak every minute setting that you can think of. First off, what is Stable Diffusion? In short, it's an image generation model created by Stable AI. It turns text prompts into images. Now, in a majority of this video, we will work with a software application called Focus. This is a front-end interface that allows us to interact with the Stable Diffusion model. Okay, enough talking, let's jump into the application. In our full video, we walk through how you can get Focus installed. Awesome, and we are finally ready to start generating images. You'll notice a few things: the image generation window at the top, the text prompt window at the bottom, where we can type things like cats on a window lid. You can see that there's an immediate spike in your GPU. So you'll notice the image comes in a little fuzzy, and then it cleans up over time. Okay, with those images in place, we can look at them in detail by clicking on each individual image. This second image is a really good example of the kind of problems that this kind of model has. You can see that the eye on the left is perfect, but the eye on the right just doesn't have the detail we need. We're gonna build a crazy Star Wars poster no one has ever seen of Padme fighting off Anakin Skywalker. But first, let's build a cyberpunk city with crazy detail. So you can notice the kind of detail that I'm putting in here. I'm writing out very specifically what I want to see. So a cyberpunk city at night. So I'm specifying what the lighting looks like. Glowing neon lights. I want to have that look where there's lots of light from the buildings themselves. And I'm specifically calling for cinematic lighting. Okay, now we've got 2 new images. Let's look at both of them. I love the detailing on this. Generally, everything seems okay. There's lots of lost details in the buildings in the background. I think I can generally fix those as we go. The second image is a lot softer, and there is a lot of billboards and written detail, which I probably won't be able to fix. What if we have a great image, but we want to refine that image? That's where image input comes in. First, if you want to take this image and we just want to scale it up, bring in new resolution, we can use image upscale. So you just drag that image in here. So first, let's do a 1.5 upscale. Now, as that image comes in, we can see we already have a lot more detail. Okay, the first image is in. Let's take a look at what that looks like. So you're already seeing so much more detail in the building in the foreground. All the problems of the background have now been resolved. All the lines are straight. All the windows are visible. Generally, everything's looking good. There is still a little bit of specific problems I'm seeing, especially on this billboard on the right, parking lot down below, but the cars don't look perfect. We can work on those specifically. Okay, let's look at this image with some detail. That's not going to work because it's so close to the foreground element, which is this building. Here we use Inpaint to perfect out the details. There are some tricks we use to get a better image. Check that out in the full video. At this point, you probably get the idea of image generation, but let's dive into something a little bit more obscure that uses more advanced features of the software. So let's think of something that we can't find on the internet. So Anakin Skywalker and Padme lightsaber duel, Star Wars franchise, high detail, cinematic lighting at night. All right, let's see what this looks like. Again, let's increase that to 4 images. Okay, we're gonna pause it right there. So this is where you need to be careful as you generate. It's fairly common to have not safe for work content pop up. You can use negative prompts to prevent this from happening. Ideally, I'd want to see something similar to the Star Wars poster. It's a low angle shot with lava in the background and each character fighting aggressively against each other. Now, I could give this in the form of a prompt, but I can also use image prompt. Image prompt essentially allows you to input an image and generate a similar image. But for right now, let's turn off all of our advanced features. You can go over to image prompt and you can drag your image in and you have a few features that will show up. Now, if you don't have this bar at the bottom, you just want to scroll down to the bottom and click advanced. That'll give you 4 options. Now, image prompt will generally scan the image, very similar to a text-based prompt. It'll attempt to understand what's happening in the image and it'll generally use that as a suggestion for generation. So we have 2 real options, Pyra Canny and CPDS. Pyrocany essentially maps the position of characters and takes it into your new image, which would be ideal for this particular image. And CPDS essentially uses contrast, color, and saturation to generate a similar image. So in this particular case, Pyrocany would work perfect. Okay, we've got 4 images in. Let's let the remaining images come in. Let's look at the first one. So this first image, the first thing you'll notice is that it's fairly low resolution. The second image is much better, and then it's converted Obi-Wan into some version of Anakin. Third image, I don't like it as much. The resolution is not quite there. Image 4, that's looking much better. I love the perspective of this. This next image is completely broken. Perspectives are wrong. Final image looks like 2 Padmes fighting each other. Again, it's less of a problem because I know I can change one of those characters, but I'm not a big fan of the perspective. I'm not a big fan of the background. So with all of that in mind, I think I'm going to go with this image as the image I'm going to refine to final. Okay, so the first thing I'll do is drag that image into Inpaint and start erase my previous painting and start working on specific sections of the image. So I'd want Padme to wear her iconic white battle attire. This time I'm only going to change up the outfit itself, just highlighting very specifically. So here's a pro tip. In this particular section, I'm changing how the body structure looks, but I don't really want to change the general position. I find that it's helpful to highlight only parts of the image. So you'll notice here, I've left the foot open and the back of the ankle open as well, along with the waist of the character. That way I can change just the middle section of the image without affecting the overall look of the image. Now I'm liking the overall structure here. I just want to fix this broken limb. I'd like to change the shoes the character is wearing, maybe reduce some of this armor, and that's what I'm going to do now. For the rest of this episode, we will run multiple parallel processes, like Padme's hair, bring in lots of details into both the faces, and finally, we'll end up expanding the image to create a horizontal composition. Now, in the full episode on our channel, we'll break this down in more detail. Now, I don't really like how the characters are standing. I'm seeing a lot of imperfections in the hand structure, Anakin's leg structure, but generally, this is a great starting base. Considering we generated this image in under an hour, that's a really great starting point. And that brings us to the end of this episode. If you liked this video, hit the like and subscribe buttons. Now, there is a lot more we can do to perfect this photo. That's something you want to see, drop us a comment below.